Okay, hey Instagram, hey Facebook. This is the Truth Be Told with myself, Tbeyb. I am not on air yet. Hold on, let me get this on here real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. Hi, okay. This is the Truth Be Told with myself, Tbeyb. You're listening to me via KUAW radio, also Texas 101 Jams. If you have a business or an event that you'd like sponsored here on KUAW Radio, then make sure to send us an email at KUAW Radio, KUAW985 at gmail.com. If you are watching or listening to me via Periscope or Twitch or the internet and you'd like to watch me live, you can hop over to our Facebook page. That's KUAW Radio. Make sure to like and subscribe to that Facebook page and share all the content that we have here with you, with your family and friends. I guess till she come, I don't really gotta show her because she's not here. I'm sorry, I'm adjusting the camera now. um, Yes, watch KUAW Radio. That's our Facebook page. Also, KUAW Radio across all social medias: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Twitch. Also, Texas 101 Jams. Make sure to follow our Instagram page. I believe it's the Twitch page, Instagram, or internet radio page, Texas101jams.com. Make sure to tap in, like, and share so that you have access to all the content that we have here on KUAW Radio as well as Texas 101 Jams. Again, my name is Tbeyb, and this is the Truth Be Told. It's Tuesday, 6 p.m. East Central Time. And I'm happy to be here. I hope you guys are happy to be here. I hope you guys are had a great holiday season. I know we just came out of that. So we brought into a new calendar year. So I hope you guys are prepared for that and getting things prepared and learning how to let things that's happened in the past stay in the past and to move things forward for the things in the future so that is to come, the present moment and the future that is to come. Okay. So yeah, the Chiefs won. Definitely always got to throw that in there, give out the props for the Kansas City Chiefs out there. I don't know what the Cowboys did. Carmen's not here with me right now, so she'll tell me later. um, but yeah, so that was good. I actually didn't even watch the game. I'm not even gonna lie, it was a little bit too close. I was watching it like keeping up with the stats, but it's a little bit too close for my likings. I don't know why the Chiefs be doing that to us or whatever, but they do. So we got to live with it, but we'll see what it is. But I see the game yesterday. Yesterday was Monday, and they were talking about all these NFL players that have been dying basically on the field or passing out or some things like that or whatever. I've seen some that tried to link it to the COVID vaccine, but we don't know if that's the actual cause, even though I know my mentor asked me yesterday if I had got the COVID vaccine because she was telling me about how she had went in to get the booster and her experience with that and everything like that. And it's now it's day and time 2023. It's like we don't really even talk about COVID no more. It's like it never even happened, which I knew it was gonna get like that, just like Ebola and all those other diseases and things that pandemics that we had is always comes to an end at some point. But I see the guy passed out yesterday and he's still in critical condition. I did see that he was getting better. I'm perceiving his stats and stuff was getting better. So just send out good thoughts and prayers for him and his family and anyone else that you may know that may be in need of good thoughts or prayers. Just make sure you send it out and hold them in your heart's mind when you're doing, your prayers and things like that. It's so sad. I was watching some links or TikTok. I be on TikTok all the time, yeah. So I was on TikTok and I was watching the TikTok, these little TikToks they was having that were just talking about how so many times like people miss the concussion protocols or miss the signs, even the referees and the coaches and the people that are supposed to be watching for those type of things and how often it's actually missed. with, you know, NFL players and things like that. But then it also brings me back to things that's like, it's all for entertainment, so they want the entertainment part of it. You know, it's like really whatever's going on doesn't really matter what's going on as far as health wise, or, you know what I'm saying, anything like that, because the entertainment must go on, right? Like, it's always for entertainment purposes, but people are out here actually really getting hurt for neglect of looking for the signs that, you know, you're supposed to be looking for, or the protection that they're supposed to be having when they sign these contracts and agree to play these NFL games, NBA games, all these type of things or whatever. Because, you know, they give them shots so they can go back to the game early. They give them try to pass protocols so that they can get back in the game. And even with health injuries, trying to bring them back full front so that, you know, they can play the game, especially if they're a good player. You know, like, they need them to sell tickets. So it's always a catch-22 with the things that be going on when we actually take a look at those things. When you actually take a look at those things, at those leagues that are meant to bring us entertainment, and the actual health protocols that they follow. And trust and believe, injuries are a part of the game. Okay, injuries are definitely part of the game. But when you got people passing out on the field like the brother did yesterday, like, that was scary. Everybody like, did we just watch him die on TV? Like, what in the world is going on? You know? So I definitely just feel a little, you know, I don't know, like, it's just, it could have been, I'm not saying it could have been avoided. Who knows if it could have been avoided or not, but we have to do better. Let's just say that. I really haven't been keeping up what's in the news, but one thing, I mean, I have, but one thing that I want to talk about. So let's just get into it. So we know we just celebrated this quote unquote, and I do put it in air quotes, as a lot of people don't understand that New Year's Day. Matter of fact, let me look this up before I get into this, because I really want to make sure that I am giving you guys the correct information on what it is that I'm talking about. Last thing on here was Milwaukee death penalty, and I definitely got to do that. Okay, so the Julian counter, so the change is actually 17, according to the tradition, the Roman Republican calendar, so that January replaced March as the first month. It was a fitting choice since January was named after Janus, the Roman god of all beginnings. March celebrated Mars, the god of war. Okay, so it was 1772 that the Julian calendar was replaced by the Georgian calendar, changing the formula which calculated leap years, and also the beginning of the legal new year, which was moved from March 25th to January 1st. The final 11 days were dropped in the month of September 1752. So we think about these things. So here's one thing, though. This is called the truth be told, right? And so I tell people all the time when we think about these holidays and things like that, one thing that I always like stand on is like, truth cannot be changed, right? Like, facts cannot change, like, things evolve, but truth cannot be changed. So when we look at all these things like that are commonly changed every year, you know, I talk about it when we talk about daylight savings times for one, because we change that twice a year every year. Okay, so, and it's like, it could just be changed, like, we could just change it when we feel like changing it. This calendar going according to different calendars, you know, and we think about the time in history, what was going on during those times and things like that. But when you get into the universal things, because the reason that I really wanted to bring that up is because you get people that do all these New Year customs or traditions, however you may want to call them. But they like the eating the grapes under the table or New Year's resolutions. And I really don't think New Year's resolution actually goes into that, because to me, New Year's resolutions is more so goals. It's like setting goals for yourself. And you should set goals for yourself every quarter. You should set goals for yourself every 3 months. You should measure yourself where you are to obtaining those goals, to know what you should be doing for the next coming quarter, or what you need to do. I tell people all the time, I just put it on my page yesterday. If you don't follow me, make sure you follow me across all my social medias, Tbeyb, Tbeyb. You can find me on everything. But I just put it on my page yesterday, and I was saying, like, a goal without a plan is just a dream, right? So if you have these goals, but you don't set out a plan to create or to complete these goals or to bring these goals into fruition, then it's just a dream. And that's most of the time what New Year's resolutions are. So New Year's resolutions are just goals. So I really don't put that in a category of all the superstitions that people play into it. But then they be wondering, like, why it don't really work. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work because we're doing a falsified New Year's. Like, it's, that New Year's is in March. It was legally moved. But when you think about the universe and the universal laws and the reset of the seasons and the energies and the planet movements and all that type of things, man can change a calendar, but man cannot change the universe. They cannot change the things that goes on in the universe or whatever. Like, that is untouchable. They cannot manipulate it. They can't manipulate it anywhere or anything like that or whatever. So when they can change these dates, and my thing of this is, even if you want to celebrate, see, here's the thing. I'm not one of those people that say, oh, you can't celebrate holidays, you shouldn't be doing this or doing that or whatever. Do whatever makes you happy, but also live according to truth. So if you're going to celebrate New Year's on December 31st and you're going to make these resolutions and you're going to eat these grapes and you're going to do these wishes and yada, 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 make sure you do that in March too. Make sure you do your spring cleaning. Make sure, because there's a reason that you declutter your home at the start of the new year, right? Because a decluttered home is the same thing as a decluttered mind. So that's why that's the tradition of spring cleaning, right? And so, and even the ideal of it being a new year, right? There's nothing new going on between December and January. There's no leaves blooming. There's nothing new. There's no new life, right? But you think about March, and that's when all the flowers start to bloom. That's when the trees come back to bloom. And that's when all these things or whatever, you know what I'm saying, start to become new again. So in your mind, logically, that this is the actual New Year's, right? And so if you're going to do all these things in January, make sure that you do all these things in March as well. If you want to see those things come to fruition, make sure you evaluate yourself in March. Like I said, when you set a goal, your goal should be evaluated every 3 months, every 3 to 4 months. I think a quarter. So divided by 4 quarters, 4 divided by 12 is 3. So every 3 months, you should be evaluating where you are in life. You should be evaluating the goals that you set for yourself and how much closer you are to bringing those goals into fruition. What is it that you need to do or revise about yourself to make those goals come into play? And like I said, same thing with New Year's resolution. They just put a new word on it. New Year's resolution is nothing but a goal. So if it's going to be a goal of yours, then make sure that, you are keeping track of completing these goals so that they don't go over your head, and so that you're just not doing the same thing every new calendar year, every new year. You're doing the same thing. You're in the same position. You have the same goals. There's no movement. So when you don't evaluate the situation of where you are periodically, you miss the movement. If you're not tracking how much closer you are to that finish line, you're missing the movement, and you're going to still be at the start. That's why people say they're going to be doing the same thing they was doing last year. Girl, they said it last year, they're going to be saying it this year, because they're not tracking their movement, and we're living according to these dummy traditions that have been set up by Europeans, and that's not being racist or anything like that, because it just said that the Romans, yeah, Numa revised the Roman Republican calendar so that January replaced March as the first month. It is fitting, even according to the zodiac. Like, y'all got Capricorns out here thinking they the beginning and the end, and they're not. Like, you're in the middle, bro. Like, you're not the beginning or the end. Like, Aries is the beginning of the zodiac cycle. So we and you know the knowledge of, because you know ages, and I know this kind of taking it all the way out, but if you're like a real Christian and you see like the fish representing Pisces, or represent Jesus because he came in a Piscean age, you know what I'm saying? So when you think about ages, like right now we're in the age of Aquarius, right? The age of awakening. And so when you think about these cycle ages, they're all named after the zodiacs, right? So if they go and switch what's the beginning and what's the end, then it's like now we're not living according to truth. And I feel like that is the most detrimental thing to our people, is not living according to truth, right? It's like even when we know the truth, we choose to do what the crowd is doing. We choose to do what society is doing instead of doing what we know as truth. And so when you don't live in truth, then you're not, and I'm not trying to all get into religion and all those type of things like that or whatever, but you know, I'm more spiritual, and I go off the things of know thyself. And so when it says know thyself, and what that actually means is to know know thyself as a human, know what it means to be a human and the power that you possess. But when you get tied up in all these falsehood, clouding your mind, falsehood programmings and things like that, and you start living your life outside of truth, then your life reflects falsehood. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Your life reflects falsehood. So that's why I tell people, when they like, they used to say, they have that saying like, it's okay to tell a white lie. It's not okay to tell a white lie. And I always tell people that when you lie, it's because you're afraid. I don't fear nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't fear anything. So there's no reason to lie. If I did something, it's a choice that I made, a conscious decision that I made that I can stand on. There's no reason that I have to lie about it. There's no reason that I have to lie about it. And it's crazy because I remember when I was younger, my dad used to tell me when we talk about this lying thing and and it ain't even really lying, because it wasn't more so like my dad, he never raised me in a concept of what not to do. It was what to do, right? And so one of those things was always say what you mean and mean what you say, right? And that's a concept that a lot of people don't get. A lot of people don't understand what it means to say what you mean and mean what you say. Like he used to always tell me the only thing a man has to humans is his word. Anything can be gone in a drop of a dime. Your car can be gone. Your house can be gone. Your money could be gone. Anything can be gone. But the words that come out of your mouth, what you say, like you have to be able to stand on that. You have to be able to. I don't make promises. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to say anything. I'll try. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if I'm not gonna try, I'm not even gonna tell you that I'm gonna try. Like, no, I'm not gonna be able to make that. You know, because it's like you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but why hurt someone's feelings doing what it is that you feel is best for you? What your soul is driving you to do, what your soul is guiding you to do. There's no need to apologize to anyone outside of yourself if you're listening to self. There's no need to apologize to no one else. There's no need to be worried about how someone else feels or how someone else might take it. And that might sound harsh, but at the end of the day, however, you know, it might sound harsh, and people say that all the time. I'm a Scorpio, I'm blunt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am extremely blunt. I am extremely honest. It hurts people's feelings at times, but what am I supposed to do about it? You know what I'm saying? Truth is truth. And I said, y'all hear me say all the time, I'm not Willy Wonka. I don't work at the chocolate factory. And my job is not to sugarcoat things. That is not my job. My job is to tell you the real, raw, authentic, to be my real, raw, authentic self. And you got to stand on that in any situations that you're in. So when it comes to that saying, oh, you could tell a little white lie, no, you cannot. You cannot tell a little white lie. Stand in truth. If you're ashamed of your truth, then that means you need to be making better decisions. Period. Like if you're ashamed of your truth, you need to be making better decisions. I know I got 10 minutes and I wanted to talk about something real quick because I could go on this subject forever. But I wanted to talk about something real quick because it was as of January 1st. See, that's why I started talking about the New Year's and it got me all the way off. But a lot of laws go into effect this calendar New Year. And see, they blinded with us with celebration, right? Because we need to be celebrating and out, how people celebrate the New Year's. We need to be out celebrating, doing all this other kind of stuff or whatever. So you don't realize the laws that go into effect, right? It's the smoke and mirrors. But so now Missouri, now let me tell you how Missouri done made me mad. Missouri done got on my list, baby, okay? Because let me tell you, starting today, which was January 1st or January 2nd, whichever, probably Monday, it's a felony in Missouri to sleep on state-owned land, like under overpasses and bridges and things like that. So you automatically think of the homeless, right? You got love for the homeless because I was once that. We don't have no love for the homeless people out here. Like, oh my God, it's ridiculous. Because why? Now, let me tell you, see, there's always a good perspective and a bad perspective of things, right? So the bad perspective of this is like, are y'all serious? Because they said they will be fined $750 and spend 15 days in jail where they're homeless. So I'm pretty sure if they are standing on the corner with cardboard signs, they do not have $750. I'm just gonna make that assumption. I'm not gonna stamp that as truth. We're not gonna stamp that as truth, but we're gonna make the assumption that if they're standing on a corner panhandling for dollars and change, that they don't have $750 to pay the local police officers. Oh, you gotta stop. You gotta laugh or start to crying because this is really what y'all are taking time to spend your time on. This is really what y'all are taking time to like this is really what y'all doing. Like this is really what y'all doing. You ain't got nothing better else to do. The 15 days in jail. They're homeless. If I was homeless and I had somebody offering me 15 days, 2 weeks with a bed, it's going to be warm. They're going to have 3 meals a day. They ain't got to ask nobody for no money. They ain't got to ask for nobody for no change. I might want to be there. I'm just saying, I might want to be there. Like, I ain't got nowhere else to go. Obviously, if I'm sleeping under the overpass, or if I'm sleeping under a bridge, or if I'm sleeping on a bridge, under a bridge, on an overpass, wherever on the streets, if I'm sleeping on the streets, I think a warm cot and some 3 meals a day in jail, that ain't too bad. That's the good side about it. And then another good side about it is they're gonna start housing out, or they're gonna start filling out of jails with homeless people, okay? And they're not gonna have room for the people that they're picking up off the streets. Y'all know when jails get overcrowded, they like, we'll just give you a ticket. When normally they would have took you to jail. That's another good thing. But see, you gotta find the good. You gotta find the good in the evil. Okay. Because when these people out here do evil, see what we gotta learn. I always tell people they always think it's a physical war that we gotta fight to overcome oppression and the oppression that has been put upon us and the oppression that we're still under. They always think it's a physical war that needs to take place. It's a mental war, it's a spiritual war. So when they go evil, when they go low, you have to go high. When they go evil, you gotta find the good in it. no matter what that may be. You got to find the good in it. Don't dwell off the evil that these people are doing, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to dwell off the evil, to put out the evil energy, the evil vibes, the mindsets that go in. When you see evil, then you want to get revenge, and you're hateful, you full of hate, and you know what I'm saying, things like that, and you don't know what you'll go out there and do. These type of energies attract other energies via the law of attraction, which is always in play. So it attracts different energies that's going to cause these different feelings to come up in your life. It's going to cause situations in your life that's going to bring up certain feelings within you, if that makes sense. So, I think this wasn't enough. What's the name, y'all? I'm sorry. I gotta make sure my radio station on this side is right. But I can't count. But yeah, so when the law of attraction is always in a play, then we have to understand that the things that we think about and the things that we hold close to our heart and the things that we give energy to and the things that we focus on are the things that attract those type of situations in our life. So if you're attracting situations that are making you angry, or you know what I'm saying, things like that, then you have to reevaluate your frequency. That's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show. You feel me? Because y'all understand what it means to be able to evaluate your frequency and be able to change your frequency on the drop of a dime, so that you are able to control what it is that the universe is putting in conjunction with what you are attracting, with the energy that you're putting out. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this because I gotta go on break. Oh no, I got 3 minutes. That means I got a little bit more time to talk. But with the energy that you put out all this time, I learned it. That it's like think of each individual as a radio tower, right? So when you think about a radio tower, this is KUAW 98.5. So if you think about a radio tower that broadcasts this certain frequency, 98.5. When you're tuned in to 98.5, you hear what is going out over those airwaves. You're tuned in to 103.3 jams. You're tuned in to Texas 101 jams. You're on that frequency, so you hear what is being broadcast on that frequency. But see, your emotions work the same way. Anger is a frequency. Guilt is a frequency. Doubt is a frequency. Love is a frequency. Joy is a frequency. Happiness is a frequency. So when you are tuned into those frequencies, you attract other things on those frequencies that allow you to be tuned into what is being broadcast on that frequency. Which is the same thing if you are angry, or if you are filled with hate, if you are filled with revenge, you are broadcasting that frequency. So you're going to attract more things that are on a line with that frequency. It's like a radio tower. It's like a radio tower. You know what I'm saying? You're going to attract what you are going to be tuned in with. What you are you going to attract or be listening to or be subject to what you are tuned in on? So if you think of yourself as a radio broadcast station, what energy are you giving out? What frequency are you on? So what are you attaining? What are you getting back? I'm just saying. So I got to go on break. It's about that time. So I'm going to go on break, and then we're going to come back and yeah. See y'all in about 90 seconds. Okay. Oh,
goodness, got my Philliness in it.
All right, and we're back. Give me a minute over here on
I was late. Give her a minute.
Oh, give me a minute over here on Texas 101 Jams. I got this music. I got the wrong music playing. I'm sorry. I'm coughing. Yes, Carmen the Libra has joined the party.
Late is I don't know what. I'm sorry.
Anytime is right on time.
Tardy for the party.
God's timing.
I'm gonna need to get a helicopter for Houston pretty soon because the traffic here is starting to get like a little out of hand.
It's all these people moving.
It's all these California people. If you're from California, don't come here. We're closed. Because y'all making the rent go up and stuff. I don't like that.
Because they did say Texas like just hit like 30 million.
Bruh, there's these new apartments. So I'm shopping for a new apartment. The one bedroom was $1,700. I said, I will get a house. Give me a house.
Hey, listen. Oh, that's a good way. Oh, dang, I didn't even say. I forgot to come back in, but now I got a shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
But I gotta say, if you got a business or event that you like sponsor here on KUAW Radio, make sure to send us an email, kuaw985@gmail.com. If you want your music played on Texas 101 Jams, make sure to hit us in our DM. Slide in the DM. Oh, Young Gotti. Oh, I forgot to talk about that.
But he's with Angela Simmons.
He got Angela.
Yeah. You see how you manifest things?
He manifested that. He manifested
Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan, if you're out here listening. No.
Right. I will not do you like Lori Harvey did. I will love you. I will be committed.
But no. That was but I'm saying if you want your music played here on Texas 101 Jams, make sure to shoot us an email or DM on Texas 101 Jams on our Instagram. We appreciate you guys for tuning in and listening to us every week and continuing. And again, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the things that we have going on here on Texas 101 Jams as well as KUAW Radio. But now, as I say, my shameless plug, because you're talking about these houses and the rent and stuff going up. So these apartments out here trying to hit you for like $1,700 when you could be playing for one bedroom
for 633 square feet to be exact.
What?
$1,700.
When you could be out here having a mortgage. So if you want to work on your credit and your finances and you want me to help you get in the process to getting that started, make sure y'all hit me up on my Instagram or my Facebook, Tbeyb, that's Tbeyb. Yeah, so that's that. So y'all know I like this relationship topics for this second half and everything like that. And the last time that we were actually live, we were talking about the equally yoked thing.
Yeah.
And so now that we're just coming out this holiday season, it was some things that had taken place that made me think, not with myself.
No, I'm ready to hear. Let's go.
Not with myself personally, but just some things that I was just subject to being around on conversations that were being had. Because see, me, I technically don't have these problems because I don't have children. You know, and a real problem comes into when it's cool to be your own individual person, right? When you're in a relationship and we think about being equally yoked and things like that or whatever, it's easier to be more compromising in certain areas when there's no children involved. Can we agree on that?
Yes. Okay. It's also easier to be more compromising when the financials are, up there.
Okay.
Because a lot of women are like, oh yeah, I just want a good man and I'll do this and I'll do that. No, you won't. No, you won't. Let's be like, okay, did you see the interview with was it Shan Boudram and Watch Jazzy?
No, I don't know who this people are.
Never mind. She's like a loveologist.
Oh.
Can I say sex on her? She's a sexologist.
Okay.
But she's also like an intimacy coach. Okay. But anyway, the interview, she watched Jazzy, she's with Cam Newton. They were like, would you be able to do this for like a broke man? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, dang. And everybody gave her all this slack for it. But I mean, I just feel like,
well, I guess she has money,
but she has money too. So I understood her. But when
what it do all what?
Like, oh, she was like packing his lunch every day, packing his bag, regular woman stuff.
I'm not doing that for no one that's not my husband.
Right. But like I'm saying, like regular.
I don't care how much money you got.
Like regular.
If you're not my husband, I'm not packing your lunch. I'm not cleaning.
I do have a ring on this finger.
I'm not cleaning your clothes. I'm not packing your lunch. I'm not worried about. I might ask you if you ate today, but I ain't worried about cooking you no meal every night. Like, no, that's what I mean.
It's gonna be pizza.
That's what they mean by wifey duties in a girlfriend stage. Like, no, I'm not about to be over here acting like I'm your wife, and you haven't made it clear to me that I'm good enough to be your wife.
I opened them.
That's not gonna happen. That's and that's what women really need to understand, because that ain't
they
go
too
really going in there.
Too fast.
You move too fast. Like, you're not even making a man earn you, put a title on it, put any type of commitment towards you before you.
And he did it.
Before you feel like you're giving someone your all. Yeah. I gave you my all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to give you my all if you haven't gave me your all.
Everything.
If you haven't gave me your all, that's why women, we kill ourselves. We heartbreak ourselves because we put ourselves in a position to get hurt. If a man ain't showed you that you are worth you cooking his cleaning his clothes, cooking his meals every day, packing his lunch for when he go to work, and all these sometimes things, if he ain't made no type of commitment to you to show you that you're even worth doing that for him, why do it? I'm not no pick me female. I don't have to show you what I'm capable of, so you, pick me. No, I'm not doing that. And I know I always talk about now, there's a difference between being a good woman and wifely duties.
You mean being submissive and wifely?
No, I'm just saying, because they said, because I used to get confused on it, like, don't do wifely duties or things, but at the same time, on a girlfriend level, but at the same time, it's like, that's just being a good woman, because some women are just who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some women like to cook for their man. Some women like to clean their man's clothes. Some women like to, you know what I'm saying? Some women like to be that. I'm going to clean your house. I'm going to take care of your children. Some women like to do that thing. Like, it's part of who they are, you know?
Right.
But at the same time, and I can use but in that, because you got to clear all that. That's excuses, and that's BS. Because at the same time, a man is supposed to not necessarily earn, and I use the word earn, but not necessarily earning, like doing something for you or paying you, or, you know what I'm saying, things like that. But I'm saying showing you that they are emotionally available, showing you that they are willing to commit, making a commitment, you know what I'm saying, and doing the things like that. Like, they always talk about we with people 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It shouldn't take that man that long to realize that you could be his wife
or even his girlfriend, because a lot of times, a lot of us, I'm not gonna say
no, but let me say,
be in situationships. I've been in situationships way longer than I needed to be. And it was like, I don't know if I want to really like be in a relationship or have a girlfriend and all that. Well, not anymore. Yeah. I'm good now. But I did. We've had them situationships and you stayed longer than you needed to.
Yeah.
Like, and it don't take all of that. It don't take a year.
I'm telling you, anybody I talk to now, you got 3 months.
90 days.
90 days. If you and the thing about it is, now listen, and it's crazy because I had seen on TikTok, and people like to ask Steve Harvey, of course. And so the girl was, I like Steve Harvey. So the girl was like, well, how long should it take a man for a man to make you his girlfriend? And Steve Harvey looked at her and he's like, 1, you can't be nobody's girlfriend. You're not a girl.
You're a grown woman.
You're a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? To be your woman. Yo, man, we got to even get out that. We ain't even got to get out that saying of your girlfriend. Because my friends used to get mad at me because I used to tell, they were like, well, he ain't even made you his girlfriend. He ain't even made you the girl. I can't even be nobody's girlfriend. I ain't been nobody's girlfriend since high school. Okay? I'm not looking for no title of no girlfriend. I'm not a girl. Like,
I ain't trying to be your friend.
And the thing about it is, it's like, but it's the emotional commitment to it or whatever. Because even if the ideal of making someone your girlfriend is just a title of commitment, all it is just a sense of commitment. It's saying that I am committed to you, you are committed to me, and we're in this together.
Right.
And if you know, and that's really all it is. So we really could skip to fiance. If you gonna make me a girlfriend, you might as well go ahead but we can be engaged. See, I'll be engaged. When I get engaged, I want to be engaged for at least a year.
Me too.
At least a year. Because I feel like that we rush into stuff so quickly that
we don't even learn the person.
We don't learn the person.
And then you marry a stranger, because marriage and just dating or being in a monogamous relationship, whatever you want to call it, it's a lot different.
It is.
It's a lot different. Like marriage is like, I love you so much, sign this contract. I don't want the contract part of marriage. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not signing no papers. I'm not signing no papers, but we could do the ceremony and everything. But I don't want to be like, oh yeah, so if we mess up each other's lives.
I mean, the marriage license is really just a contract between two people in the government.
Yeah, I don't want to put
the marriage license is just two things in the government. Marriage for real is a commitment between two people. It's supposed to be two people and God. Right. That means I am taking on the responsibility through better or worse, even, the vows and stuff they say, but to really mean that in your soul, to really mean that in your heart. Like, you don't need a piece of paper to tell you that.
Somebody said you need the papers. Are you married though?
You don't need the papers.
No, I want to hear like why you need the papers. Like, because I'm not married. I've never been married. So if you can explain to me why you need the papers.
You need the papers for tax benefits. You need the papers. You need the papers for anything that involves the government. You need the papers for the insurance. You don't even need the paper for the insurance, because you can put somebody as a benefactor as your insurance and they don't have to be your spouse. But you need the papers.
Divorced. You definitely needed the papers, buddy.
Right. That's why. I'm just saying.
I know why you need the papers for divorce.
But that's like they're saying. Like, divorce gets easier. Like, as marriage gets easier, like divorce is so much more. Like, they didn't have as many divorces back in the day as they have today.
Your name. You do need
it to change your name, but you also can change your name without a marriage license. Yeah, you can legally change your name, period. You don't really need a paper to change your name. If you want to take on their name, and I don't even know if they do it for free. I think they do it for free if you have a marriage license, but you probably have to pay for it if you don't have a marriage license. I've been married for 18 years. I
got a few married people on here now. Okay, so
my husband's name.
It's like 3 of y'all on here.
It's like 3 of y'all.
The papers allow your spouse to take care of your affairs after you transition.
So does a will and trust. So does a will and trust. Get at me. But it doesn't mean there's always, you don't need their papers to do that. You're supposed to have a will and trust anyway. You're supposed to set forth what it is that you want to happen if something was to happen to you, period. Period. Because I'm not leaving my stuff to my spouse. I'm leaving it to my children.
Yeah. I mean, my opinion might change later. I don't know. I'm not married yet. I'm nowhere near there. I'll see when he said those are still papers.
A will and trust? But they're not a marriage license.
Not marriage papers.
We're talking about a marriage license.
But, like, I mean, maybe the time will change later. Like, maybe I'll get into like, okay, yeah, I'll sign this. But it depends on how much money I have when it's time to get married, to be honest. Because
Yandy didn't sign them papers because she didn't want that child support coming out her check because of her man.
This is why I don't date men with kids anymore.
I'm just saying, there's certain things that allow your debt. You sign that marriage license, your spouse takes on your debt. So if you got 80K in student loans, that now becomes y'all's 80K in student loan debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't do anything but bind you in the with the government. When I'm saying, when it comes to love and emotions, the license don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
That's why so many people get divorced. Because they don't know the spiritual aspect of it. They don't know the divine aspect of marriage. They so quick, they want the wedding. They want to be able to say, I'm a wife. I'm a husband.
Oh. Yeah, I guess
divorced 4 years.
There are some men that want to say I'm a husband.
Yeah, some very smart.
I know most women want to say I'm a wife,
but because women are groomed to want to be wives. Yeah. Men aren't groomed to want to be husbands. Yeah, they're groomed to want to have the most women they can, whatever. Yeah. They body counts or whatever.
They're really taught that their masculinity depends on how many women they're with. Mm-hmm. I feel
for sure.
Taught.
I read this book, and I didn't even talk about the dang holidays. But that's okay. No, I was saying, like, when you have children and like, how do you deal with that? Like, we talked about it, and I said we was gonna talk about it, but we could talk about it later because we ain't got that much time now. So we just stay going where we're going. The flow. Nah.
We ain't gonna that conversation.
Yeah.
Gonna open a whole nother bag of words.
No, but what you had just said, I was about to respond to.
Oh, thank you, TT. She brought a badge.
What was I about to say? What you just say?
We're talking about how women are groomed to be wives and to support each other, but you know.
Oh, so I was reading this book and it's called From a Boy to a Man, or From a Boy to Manhood. And I can't remember who it's by. It's an old book. I found it in my mentor's library. So it's real old. My mentor 92. So yeah, I told her to write her library in her will that her library comes to me. Okay. Every single book. But anyway, but it was talking about how men are trained up to basically, I can't think of the word, but exemplify their sexuality, how many notches are on their belts, how many the caliber of women that they have or have had, or right. How many women they can get, or you know what I'm saying, things like that. Those are the type of things that, because you know, look at Boosie. You know what I'm saying? Think of the things, how Boosie, the difference, how you raise a boy versus how you raise a girl.
Yeah, I mean, he had a 10-year-old.
Was he 10?
No, he was 13.
13 or something like that in the strip club. And it's like it's justifying sexuality. What happened?
So
you gotta read it.
Yeah, it's saying women don't get what they want because they don't know what to ask for.
Why should they have to ask?
Shouldn't we raise our boys too to kind of know how to treat women though? Because sometimes women simply don't know what to ask for because they've never. I guess it goes
because they don't have daddies. Well, I mean, what do you mean ask for?
I mean, I don't really know, because what do you ask somebody? I ask. There's things that I shouldn't have to ask for. I don't feel like I should have to ask for loyalty. I feel like I shouldn't have to ask for honesty. I feel like I shouldn't have to ask for monogamy.
Right.
I feel like these are just your morals. So if you weren't raised that way, then and you didn't see that, whether you have two parents married or not, if you saw daddy cheating all the time on mommy, you're gonna do that because you have not been taught those morals, I guess. I mean, my opinion. This is because
you're more susceptible to thinking that it's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's been part of your environment.
Right. And it's so like
it's part of your programming.
Yeah, it's like a program narcissism.
You don't think anything is wrong with it.
Yeah, it's like, I take care of everything at home. So I'm gonna be out here doing my thing, but you good. You crying in a Phantom or a Honda? Like they but it's like,
but when he said women don't know what to ask for, ooh, so this is how they say I turn into a man basher.
But sometimes we don't.
No, I'm never gonna say that. We shouldn't have to ask. A man and a woman are created to be certain things or whatever. And if we wouldn't raise them, if we would raise them with the same type of understanding of life and commitment towards life, like you raise women to be wives, you should raise men to be husbands, then we wouldn't have such a disconnect. You wouldn't need to ask because the understanding would already be there. You don't have, what do I need to ask? I don't need you to be I don't need to ask you to be a protector. I don't need to ask you to be a provider. That is why God made you. What do I need to ask you for that for? Yeah. I shouldn't have to ask you for that.
If you're not, but again, that's a thing that's taught in the home. So there are 5 things. He says: love, loyalty, respect, obedience, and the capacity for self-control. That's what she should ask for. But
why should you ask for
those are things that you have to ask for. I feel like you should be raised with that already. And
you don't give that?
That should just be common sense, because I was raised with all of that. And no, I did not have a father in the house, but I knew my daddy. I hung out. Me and my daddy be cool. But it's like, that's just not anything that I felt like I should have to ask for, because I was raised that way, to have that and to be that. So I feel like my partner or whoever I'm with should also, that's where you go into equally yoked. They should also be raised with those 5 elements.
But I feel like I feel like people should be raised with morals, period.
Right.
I was raised off love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So anybody that I interact with, anything that I do is based in one of those morals. Yeah, and nobody has to ask me to tell them the truth. Nobody has to ask me to show love. No one has to ask me to be peaceful. No one has to ask me to be loyal. Like, those are things that are naturally possessed.
Yes.
So
and I feel like when
ask for nothing, you shouldn't have to ask for nothing.
Right. And I don't know. But on to the next one. Any of those things lacking, you lose. I agree with that. But it says that's a slippery slope. A lot of men are being raised by women. Where is the disconnect? Where there is a disconnect on how to treat women if you're brought up by one. Okay, so
where's the disconnect?
So here's the thing. Oh, where's it? I'm about to say, never mind. Never mind, because I was gonna. Well, let me tell you something.
But we talked about the
disconnect.
disconnect. The disconnect is they're raising their sons to be the men that they hate instead of the men that they want to date.
Yeah, or that they're raising their sons to be the men that they date, and subconsciously they dating their sons.
Yeah, like I mean, but not necessarily date. They're raising their sons to be the men that they're dating, not that they want to date. Because if that, they will have a husband. What happened?
He says you don't have to ask for it. That's why you don't get it.
That's not true.
But you don't ask for it, and that's why you don't get it.
That's not true.
I got that, and I didn't ask for it.
Right.
In my new relationship, I haven't asked for any of these things.
That just means you with the wrong person.
He came out the gate giving them to me.
That's
so compassionate, so sweet, so all of it is very protective. Provide all of that.
Like that's you just with the wrong person. You don't have to ask for it because when it's naturally given, you're not gonna have to ask for it. When it's the right person, you're not gonna have to ask for it because when you meet the right woman, you're gonna naturally give it.
Yeah, I just feel like
that's how we were made.
Again, it goes back to what was seen and raised in the home, and that's no shade.
I mean, yeah, that's part of it, but everybody is not like that.
Everybody's not.
Some people grow up seeing abusive parents. That don't mean
they're
never
abusive. Gonna. Yeah, and that doesn't mean
it makes them go the opposite.
Yeah,
you know,
like Will Smith's father wasn't there, but he's been there for all of his kids.
Yeah, so, my daddy never knew his daddy, but all his children lived with him. He took care of all his children. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't necessarily what you grow up with your environment. Yes, that shapes you, but it's still ultimately your choice.
I'm not complaining about not getting it. We're speaking on other people on the situation, period. It's not our personal that we're talking about. We're just bringing the conversation to light. I
don't even know how he got to what he was talking about when he said with date if you don't ask for it. But I was just saying, dang, we're out of time.
I only got 5 minutes left.
No, I don't got 5 minutes left. I got 1 minute on this. I gotta be out 55. Yes, so that was good. That was good. It went by so fast. It doesn't even seem like it's been 30 minutes since you came in, and it has.
But he's an exception. He's not the norm. I will say that because can you say that your man is an exception and not the norm? I can't say that.
Well, I can't.
We go back.
I can say it's
because I've had a lot of guys.
I feel like it's what you attract. At the end of the day, what the law of attraction says, what you put out is what you attract. It's too many people on this world to say that it's an exception or somebody is one of a million or anything like that. No, like, okay, dang, I gotta go. But we can continue this in a minute. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Okay, so for my KUAW family, it is time for me to get up out of here. I'm gonna leave you guys with the Holy Covenant of Asiatic Nation just real quick. Ye are the children of one Father, provided for by his care, the breast of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with our brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bondeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brothers is in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy Father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Peace. All right, cool. So that's gone. I'm off, Mr. Walker.